Good morning, guys. I just woke up. Today is a very exciting day. I have a medical school interview, and I'm going to take you along my day with me and show you what it's like to interview for medical school in a pandemic. So let's get started. I'm going to hopefully wake up a bit more very soon. Let's just get going. Say good morning. Good morning. It's currently 8:30. The interview day starts at 9:30. Usually I wake up an hour before, but I woke up at 8 today. I'm not gonna say what school I'm interviewing at because I'm gonna tell you like all the interviews that I got and the results of all of them and everything in like a basically how to get into medical school series closer to the end of the cycle. But I'll just say that this is not my first interview. Usually with most interview days, there's kind of like a welcoming session and an informational session in the morning. And then you have like your interview or your interviews. Some schools have two in one day. And then after that, there was probably like a student Q&A session. And then the day is kind of done in the afternoon, like around 1, 2, 3 o'clock. But today is very unique because at 9:30, we're basically just showing our identification and proving that we are who we say we are. And then there's an optional student interview, and I signed up for the 11 a.m. slot, but I don't know if I got the slot yet. I'm about to check and see. You kind of have to check on the day of. So that would be 30 minutes. And then my faculty/admissions committee interview is at 2 o'clock. And that's 1 hour. So if I don't have the student interview after the 9:30 like welcome, which is I think only like 10 minutes, then I literally will not have anything until 2 o'clock. So it's a very interesting day. And then after that, I'll be done the interview part at 3. And then at 5, there is the informational session and like the dean's welcome and all of that, which usually would happen in the morning from the other schools that I've interviewed at. So it's a very kind of long spread out day. So we'll see how it goes. And right now I'm gonna check and see if I got the student interview. I'm not really sure. They said it's based off of student availability. So if there's like only 5 students today and 5 people have already signed up for the 11 o'clock slot, then I guess I won't be getting it. Okay, I did get the student interview. Wow, okay. Good to know. Great, so I'll have 2 interviews today, the student and the faculty. I'm feeling pretty good about the interview. I'm surprisingly not nervous at the moment. Usually I get nervous the night before and then on the day of. I don't really know why I'm not nervous today. Okay guys, I'm about to transform this space into an acceptable interview area. I use this because of the plain background, so I'm about to get rid of all of this and transform it into something that looks professional. Okay, so when I interview, I have the plain background. I turn my camera on before I go into the Zoom, and then I make sure that the way I'm lined up on the closet looks okay. I have my water with me. I'm probably actually gonna get a different bottle because this could look like it's from a fast food restaurant if you're not paying attention, since it just has like a straw. And I want it to be very clear that I'm just drinking water, so I'll probably get a different cup. I have my chapstick right next to me. I also have tissues over here. Guys, my desk is so messy, don't look at it. But I have tissues right here. I always have them in arm's reach because my nose actually runs a lot in the winter, fun fact. And then I have my trash over here, which is also full, don't look at it, to throw tissues away. And I have my laptop plugged up all day. It is not gonna get low battery. It is not gonna die on me. That is pretty much my setup. And then for the lighting, let's just pop over here. I have both of my blinds open. I'm gonna turn that lamp on and then I have this lamp on. So I have as much lighting on as possible just to help the interviewers see me well. Okay, I'm in my little interview spot and I'm about to join the welcome session. Just came downstairs to get some, I guess this is like a smoothie type juice, like a naked juice, and a bar for the student interview. So I'm just kind of waiting for it to start. So practicing, feeling very ready. I just don't really eat a lot before my interviews. That's why I'm just eating this. I'm gonna go back up and keep practicing. Having a little FaceTime check, making sure my background looks good. Straightening that up a bit before I start my student interview. It starts in 5 minutes, so I'm excited. I'm feeling ready. Guys, look at this call log. You can see who I communicate with, my mom and my boyfriend. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready. I'm feeling a little bit anxious, let's be honest. Definitely have gotten more nervous since the very beginning of the morning, but I think that's very natural. I'm mostly just excited. So wish me luck. My student interview went very well. It was so conversational. We went over, which is always, I think, a good sign, in my opinion. We were like, oh my gosh, like we're going on 7 minutes over. I'm very chill now because I think it's always good to start out with the lower stakes interview. And now I'm kind of on lunch break. It's going on 1 o'clock. I'm about to eat some soup that just finished in the microwave, if you heard that. And I'm gonna just chill for like 20-ish minutes, maybe 30, and then go back to just like practicing the big questions, like why our school, why medicine, like that type of stuff. Even though those answers are like, I've said them so many times at this point, but I feel like those are like the really important questions. So I always like to practice those multiple times. I'm having like a good day, but it's definitely different when you have a lot of breaks during an interview day, because it just kind of feels like the day is like dragging on. It's like excitement, high energy for like 30 minutes, and then you're like, okay, I'm waiting for like 2.5 hours now. Okay, I am back on the couch. I put my hoodie back on, took my blazer off, and I just had my faculty interview. It went so well. I told myself I would be super honest in this video about like, if I got out of the interview and I don't think it went well or whatever. It went so well. I'm so happy with everything and how it went. My interviewer was so nice. We just really had a conversation about everything under the sun. It was not just about medicine, which I love. I really felt like she just wanted to get to know me. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the results of the interview. It was funny because she was like, oh, so tell me where you're at in the interviewing process and the application cycle process. And I was like, is she asking if I've been accepted yet? Or is she asking if this is my first interview? I was like, well, I've had this many interviews and I have been able to yield some good results. And she was like cracking up because I was like, I don't want to say, oh yeah, I've been accepted. Like it ain't no sweat, but like whatever. So it just went very well. I'm so happy with how it went. This video is being filmed on March 10th, so it is very late in the interviewing season. Some people say like once you get later on in the season, you're just interviewing for a waitlist spot, and then like maybe you'll get an acceptance later from that school. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I just interviewed for waitlist spot or if there is actually a chance for me to get an acceptance like straight away. So we'll kind of see. Also, since we haven't had the informational session yet, I do not know the timeline with how long it'll take for me to hear back. I'm hoping someone will ask or they'll just kind of share that information in the informational session. So yeah, I just want you guys to know I'm so happy. I'm literally so happy. My day has gone kind of perfectly. Also, my interview went over. I was really nervous knowing that the faculty interview was going to be an hour long. I've never had a faculty interview be that long before. The longest interview that I've had was 45 minutes, but it didn't go up to 45 minutes. So, and like when interviews end early, it really like makes me nervous. I'm like, oh my God, I should have asked more questions. Like I should have done something else. Like it should have been better, it should have been better. So I kind of stress out when interviews end early. And this interview was like an hour and 15 minutes. Like we just like kept talking and I looked at the time and I'm like, oh, it's 3:14, and then we like kept going. So I'm in such a great mood, guys. So now I'm just gonna eat this popcorn as a quick snack, and then at 5 o'clock I have to sign on for the dean's welcome and the informational and like the med student Q&A. I'm excited. I love interview days. I love how much you get to learn about the school. Every time I interview at a school, I'm like, oh my God, I love this. I could see myself going here. And I guess every school that you apply to, you want to be able to say that, but you just learn so much preparing for the interview, and then during the interview you just learn so much. And I'll probably check in with you when my interview day is done after the dean session and everything, and give some final thoughts about virtual interviews, about my day and everything like that. Hey guys, disclaimer, I turned on my ring light because it's now nighttime. I told you this day was like lasting until 7, so this lighting is probably super harsh. You can definitely see all the flaws on my face and my dark circles. Guys, I did not sleep well last night, but I just wanted to close this vlog out. Oh my god, I really need like sunglasses. Yeah, if I do this, that's pretty fine. Yeah, I just wanted to close this vlog out. So my interview day is done. We had the informational session, the dean's session, and the session with the medical students, the Q&A, which was really nice. Yeah, I learned a lot about the school. I really liked the school. I could see myself at the school. This school was like more so in the middle of my list, like my ranked list of schools that I really liked and I wanted to go to, but it has moved to the top tier, I'll say. So yeah, I just had a really great day. Guys, this lighting is actually killing me. Is it killing you? That is the question. Oh my god, I can turn it down. I looked like I was like about to get dissected or like interrogated. Okay, maybe we'll go with this one. Yeah, let's go with this one, guys. So sorry. Still figuring out the ring light thing. The pros and cons of interviewing virtually. I just wanted to briefly discuss them. So basically, I'll start with the cons. And the first one is probably the most obvious thing, that you don't get the full experience at the school. You don't get to tour the school. You don't get to kind of take in the atmosphere and feel like the vibes and the energy of the location and of the students and like the faculty and everything. So that's definitely kind of a bummer. And I wouldn't say it's impossible or even super hard to kind of gauge the energy from the faculty and the students, because you do get to interact with people still on interview day, but it would of course be so nice to actually be on the campus. One of the schools that I interviewed at did kind of like a virtual tour where they had a pre-recorded video that played, and then they kind of like paused the video and talked about the locations that they were showing at that time, but it really wasn't the same. Another con is you don't get to interact with other applicants, really. You're kind of just all on a Zoom screen, listening, asking questions one at a time, and that is that. But I think during interview day in person, I'm sure you can interact with them much more, which is probably really great. And just kind of speaking with people who are in the same position as you and want to go to the same schools as you and everything is probably really nice. So you don't get to do that. And then some pros are, number one, you're more comfortable. Well, I guess it's a pro and con. Because of the pandemic, I'm sure everyone is just interviewing in their house. It's not like we can like go to a quiet corner in Starbucks. You're in your house, which is good and bad. If you have a quiet house, that might be good. If you have maybe not a quiet house, that might be a little more difficult. But either way, you're in the comfort of your own home, so that kind of allows you to be a little bit more relaxed on interview day, which is always so stressful. I personally get dressed head to ankle. So I do wear like my blazer on top of whatever shirt I'm wearing. I do wear the dress pants. I've changed into my joggers, but I wear the dress pants during my interviews because I just want to really feel completely professional, even if they don't know that I'm wearing dress pants and everything. But you can be as comfortable as you want, at least from like here down, because this is pretty much as high as the camera shows. Another positive thing is you can fidget without the interviewer knowing. I wear my wire headphones for interviews just because I think they're like more reliable than AirPods. So sometimes I would like fidget at the very bottom of like the headphones that's like in my lap. Not to where you can see the headphones like moving, but just to like, I don't know, just to like, you know, fidgeting just provides comfort, and I feel like you can do that. And if you were in person, you really like couldn't do that because I feel like they would see and they would be like, you need to calm down. I wasn't really fidgeting today, so I guess that shows that, you know, the interviewers were just super friendly today. And then I guess the last pro that I'll talk about is that you don't have to spend a lot of money and time traveling to these schools. So I can just take a day off work and have my interview day and like relax in between the sessions and like sit on the couch and keep practicing. Where if I was actually going in person, I would have to maybe take more than a day off because I have to travel. Some of the places that I interviewed are hours and hours away from where I'm living. So I wouldn't have to take a plane to any of the places that I've interviewed yet, but still, you would probably spend so much more money on gas, on plane tickets, train tickets, bus tickets, whichever way you like to travel, and then on a hotel if you decide to stay overnight. You definitely get to save in that regard. Also, pro that I'm just not thinking of, my interview has never really been right after the informational session. It usually is like 30 minutes to an hour, maybe even more after the informational session. So in between that time, I can just sit down and practice and just like continue to make myself comfortable throughout the day, because preparing is what makes me comfortable. But if you were in person, you can't do that because you probably don't have any in-between sessions or like breaks. They probably have like activities planned straight through for the whole day. So those are kind of some pros and cons that I've noticed. Like I said, it's March 10th. It's crazy because I don't know if today was my last interview or if I'm gonna get another invite. I really don't know. I feel like at the end of the interview season, everything is happening so fast. It seems like you're either getting like pre-interview rejections, like, yeah, our interview season's over, sorry, you're done, or you're getting like last minute interview invites. So I'm really kind of interested to see what the next few weeks will bring me. Of course, I will let you know once like the cycle is kind of closer to the end. I'm gonna have my medical school series. I'm gonna be talking about the MCAT. I'm gonna be talking about the primary application, the secondary applications, update letters, interviewing, explaining the whole timeline behind the medical school application cycle, because I think it's very, very confusing. So I'm going to be discussing all of that, and I'm waiting till the end of the cycle because I want to be able to tell you guys my results of like interviewed at this many schools. This is who like rejected me before interviews, and this is who waitlisted me, and like this is the schools that I actually ended up getting into and all of that. So that is why I'm waiting. I'm thinking maybe I'll probably do it May or June. Hopefully I'll have heard back by all my schools from then. That is it for this video. I'm gonna close it out here. So if you like this video, please like the video. If you enjoyed watching me and my very tired interview face, then please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.